DAMWON Kia, given their only loss this stage was that one-round banger that we had. I think it was 8-7 in overtime on Theme Park, I want to say. Every other game they've won in increasingly defiant fashion, you know, more and more rounds as an advantage. They are looking really hot right now.
Got to agree, it is a little bit of a surprise, but
off now,
I think that's probably a good
I'm really sorry, my head's so big that it was doing the whole like flexi thing where they kind of stretch towards the outside.
Well, it's quite all right.
It's designed to do it, I know, but I was just like, Fabian, bring him here, come here.
I'm a nightmare for sitting on my glasses, so I got the arms that have got like
I'm taking my headset off for a minute. You got to do this solo. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm quite all right. Don't worry. I've done 1 or 2 solo casts before across the years. We're going to be heading into the operator bands. We're halfway through them, in fact. We're going to have Hibana and Thatcher going. No major surprises. Nothing too unusual there. Hibana, obviously the Hatch Queen, going to not keep the Hatcher safe. We'll just see Maverick played instead. But Miret goes, and I would imagine we will probably see Valkyrie as our final ban out, although maybe something a bit more. No, there we go. I was going to go into a discussion about maybe more util based, but no, it's going to be Valkyrie almost every time. So we're getting into this one now, looking towards round 1 of Clubhouse in what could be a big game in this stage. SANDBOX versus DAMWON Kia. The question for me is, can SANDBOX stand up to the pure force that is DAMWON Kia?
I tell you what, if Fabian's eyes are that bad, I can see why he fell off. Jesus. They are something special, those glasses. I'm not even going to lie. Christ, I thought yours were bad, and then I put his on.
Oh, mine are very mild.
God.
Mine are very mild.
If Fabian ever offers you his glasses, say no, because you will feel ill afterwards, is about all I can say. Right, let's get into it then. Round number 1, we are down into the basement, and with the Jaeger and my on side, as you might come to expect, we're in a little bit of a nade meta. We've got a Zofia on side. It's one of Rin's main operators. You, of course, can deal with those impacts and concussions that come flying through. So overall, a pretty smart setup coming out of SANDBOX, in my opinion, at the very least. But Tim, the question you've always got to ask is, do we have any roamers? Because some teams, their approach to this site is to get all the way across the top floor, exactly like MV and Static are doing right now. Reinforce up walls, put down jammers, just try and impede the attackers. Some teams will just hunker down in basement and say, right, crack open this turtle shell if you can.
The problem that they're going to have is that they're going to be getting chased down by Yas and Woogieman, Katsang in support. It's not going to be an easy day for them to keep hold of that territory. That's going to be the big question mark here in the first round, is how long can SANDBOX hold on for?
I still hurt from those glasses.
This is why you shouldn't wear other people's glasses.
You need to try Fabian's in a bit, trust me. You got to try it.
I'll have a
look.
look.
My eyes hurt.
I'll have a look. I'll have a look, Des. I'll have a look, Des.
Thank you so much.
Who's going to end up hating who after this matchup? That is the question. SANDBOX.
I'm going to pacing you more.
You love me, really. SANDBOX are holding onto the top floor. Still doing pretty well, 45 seconds. No major challenges coming in. DAMWON Kia haven't got themselves established inside of the building yet, but the breaches have begun to be open. Dirt tunnel is open as well. Looking towards a classical dirt tunnel kitchen take here, if I do say so. Looking to get it cleared out, but the top floor needs to be dealt with first.
I'm really excited about the fuse, to be honest. If they can get a few good use cases out of that, then phenomenal. You are going to find throughout this game that both teams on the attacking side will be using these hard breach gadgets on the back pocket of 1 or 2 operators. It could be the Ying, could be the Fuse, could be the Capital. We've seen so many varieties, even the Zero, and we know how partial our SANDBOX were last year. I think it was at the start of last year's season. They were the team that started running Zero before any of the team even took a look at him, so we know that may well be part of their plan. However, we are halfway through the round, and they're still trying to deal with these roamers, Tim. Yeah,
they're playing very well at the minute, SANDBOX. Envy Taylor takes a chunk of damage there, but manages to do some in return to Katsang and hold him off for another 45 seconds. Shut down though, as Rin in perfect position for the rotation. Well played. Nice little bit of teamwork from DAMWON Kia on the attack there, but time could become the factor for them. Coming down into the final minute, we've still got Harper in dirt tunnel, so if the push is going to be kitchen drop and dirt tunnel focus, they're going to have to get him moved. It may well be that they don't worry too much about the dirt tunnel. By opening it, it will engage Harper and could keep him out of the fight. 45 seconds we are heading towards though remaining, and there is a lot of work for DAMWON Kia to do here. This is going to be a final 10-second Hail Mary of a bloodbath, potentially.
Well, they want to get in and get using these fuse charges now. They've brought them along and they need to use them for something, Tim. It may as well be to force out the players that are underneath this kitchen hatch. It feels like they're leaving everything kind of 45 seconds too late in this round. Like, yeah, now they're in position. They've got to worry about a C4 from Static potentially coming in from below. But with that fuse charge coming out, now they can put the focus on blowing everything out from below. Hard breach gadget coming out on the hatch. Fuse in towards the far west side of Arsenal. And Static is forced across towards Dirt.
They're practically going to need to hot drop this hatch. Rin's moving down. They're not aware of the one on the left. Rin manages to react, but doesn't find the kill. Shayo just ahead of the curve. Gets himself one. Shut down. Courted. Able to start putting that diffuser down, but can Woogieman hold the cover? They've managed to get in here, Des. This could be an absolute steal from DAMWON Kia. Courted's got it down in church. They've snuck in through the backside. And Static, he's moving around. He's trying to come through Moto. He's going to find the kill onto Courted, but can he get in onto the diffuse? It's all up to Woogieman. He makes the challenge. He knows where it's coming, but no! SANDBOX able to retake and get it shut down, but what an effort from DAMWON Kia there. Courted moving in like a ghost, just coming in like a shadow through the back there. He was almost silent.
Almost nicked it there as well. The plant going down, I was like, there's no way you give him 10 seconds to go for a push and a drop, that Charles gets a 2k from Oil and you still get away with the plant, but they do pull it off under the nose of Charles somehow. Doesn't matter either way, as Static does come out with a big kill there towards the end, catching the cross from Blue in towards Arsenal, gets all the players down and they win the round out from there. Maybe a little bit closer than SANDBOX would have liked, but a first successful defense is a good sign for this side. Now we go up to Cash and CCTV. Let's see if DAMWON Kia have any more joy now that there is less to clear around the map.
Heading up to the top floor for round number 2, going to be CCTV and Cash. Interesting choice because quite recently we've seen a lot of gym play instead of heading to CCTV and Cash. But SANDBOX, they're going to try to hold on to it. I mean, realistically, they're going to be looking for success on both sides, so why not give it a chance to start us off? I think ultimately time was the big factor for DAMWON Kia. This round they need to make sure that they're moving a little bit quicker for me, Des. They need to be getting themselves involved in the early round, find those kills and just sort of accelerate themselves through the round a little bit better.
Well, looking at it, they've got all 3 of those Thunderbird salvation stations set up at the top of red. So whoever is sat up there, or even just passes by, is going to be feeling fantastic on their passage through the red stairs, Tim. We'll see who plans to play around there, whether or not it's more of a permanent spot to hold or just one to use as a point to fall back to if you need to get yourself some heals. But no doubt, Yas, he's got a very firm eye on that top red stairs. 3 Kona stations for the price of 1 Flores drone. You'll take that every single day of the week.
A firm eye, but ultimately will they have a firm grip of the round? That is the question. We're going to have Courted straight away onto the east wall. He's going to look to get that open. The electrical does come out. Courted does dip away and keeps his exothermic safe for the time being, so he's going to get back on the drones. They're going to try and deal with that utility now. They've got Woogieman on the Maverick, so it's not a major problem. They can choose to use grenades through the wall. The electrical has been placed on the back of it. They could quite simply, if they knew where it were, just burn straight through to where the claw is, but they're going to clear it off with nades, and Courted will be able to get it open inside the first minute, so not bad timing so far. But DAMWON Kia stacking a lot of manpower on that breach at the minute, not really looking towards the balcony just yet.
That might be a really cute but conscious choice of theirs, by the way, to Maverick the left-hand side of the wall. So even if an impact came in and got chucked against that right wall, it probably wouldn't reach the exothermic that was on the other side of the reinforced wall. So impact tricking not really an option, whereas we're used to seeing teams open up the bottom of the wall in the middle, which gives a perfect impact nade place to destroy those exothermics. So very cute but small thing they did for DAMWON Kia. That could be quite impactful in making sure the clock works for them rather than against them.
Shaw needs to be careful here. He's got the Maverick just working on the wall. Woogieman trying to find an angle inside. He's going to know that the Jaeger was playing down in the lower garage there, but Shadow's going to dip himself away onto the half stairs and just try to hold an angle. He's just there to protect Static effectively. They want Static in play for as long as possible because the catwalk is such a power spot when it comes to stopping that diffuser going down. Nova, of course, still off in the depths. I think they're aware of this as Yas is going to hold the rotation, and that could be a cheap kill. Katsang just not able to hit the shots onto the Kaid there and takes half damage as well.
He's gone chasing after him as well. I don't think he knows he's towards main stairs. I mean, he's quick check there in case he was there, but no, they're now gone pushing towards blue. So garage, probably where the rest of the team now want to be able to gather together. Charlotte's moved his way out of garage instead, is looking in towards storage and down these stairs. Sees the man coming up. Yes, I don't think expecting Charlotte to have rotated out towards there. Goes for a second challenge on towards the front door, but can't quite find it. Coated, bringing down Static.
Not a bad start for SANDBOX, managing to just get that opening kill onto Yas. Always a big player to be taken down, but Static losing his place on Catwalk is not ideal. Shaiol's position becomes even more important now. He's the one preventing them getting into Garage. Nova going to find Woogieman. That's the Maverick down 4v2 as Shaiol. He does his job fantastically well, taking Rin down and holding on to Garage for longer. 10 seconds left to go. Very little DAMWON Kia can do here. Shaiol keeps fighting. He has absolutely dominated in Garage this round. Kortag can do nothing but spray into sight for a little return, and that is going to be DAMWON Kia losing the second round as well. SANDBOX 2-0 and looking comfortable on defense.
They're looking good, and DAMWON Kia a little bit lethargic, a little bit slow in their approach and their attacks. That first round we spoke about just how much time they lost. In that second round there, they felt a little bit uncertain of what it was they were actually trying to achieve. You know, Scattered get the east wall open, and then you had your Flores dropping into basement. I have never seen a Flores be going for that kind of play, because normally he's the one that you want sat in proximity to site, normally up on the roof just outside the west CC window, chucking those Flores drones in, making players move, opening up rotations, for example, getting rid of utility. I don't think he managed to get rid of the 3 salvation stations that were at top red as well. So that's a good win for SANDBOX, really, and one where DAMWON Kia just lacked a little bit of focus.
I think, for me, DAMWON Kia in those first couple of rounds, there's something happening that they have a plan, but when it doesn't work, they don't really adapt very well. They're not, and that's unusual for DAMWON Kia. We'd normally see them do that, to see them find the answers. But for example, they open the breach and then they get the Selma charge onto the reinforcement between CCTV and Garage. The plan being to take down Static, who's playing on Catwalk. It didn't work. They didn't get Static taken down. But then it was like, oh, what now?
Yeah.
And there was just no real sort of answer.
What now? Oh, send our Flores into basement.
Exactly. Whereas if they get that kill, if that plan works and they get the kill onto Static, you feel like it's a catalyst. They're then going to push in, they're going to kill Shaiol, they're going to move up, they're going to take what they need. It won't matter that Nova's down in basement, and they'll push themselves through the round. But it's just they're hitting these stumbling blocks where something doesn't work straight away, and they don't really have an answer to that at the minute. And that's unlike DAMWON Kia. I think, you know, they need to wake up. They need to get themselves up to speed.
Absolutely. It's all about breaking open this site for DAMWON Kia and showing that at least you can win the off-site. Otherwise, you're facing the first quarter of the game gone, the full 3-site rotation done, and SANDBOX quite convincingly taking all of the rounds. Let's see, because Yas is here on the rappel, trying to challenge his way through in towards site. Imagine he'll be greeted by that reinforced wall that we often see on the second panel for the gym wall. Just stops you getting that long angle straight through into site, meaning players on the defense can quite safely play inside a bedroom, knowing the real angles they can get challenged from is going to be the bedroom window, which you can contest quite comfortably. Construction that you're likely holding, and a similar story for main stairs. Just gives them more freedom to move around and make use of the site, rather than being constrained by that long angle coming in through gym.
Envy Taylor and Yash just in a nice little standoff there as Envy Taylor down on the strip door. He wants this run out, Des. He's keen for it, but Yas knows. I don't know if they've maybe had a drone or a bit of information, and it's an easy kill for Yas. He is holding the angle, and Envy Taylor, he gets punished for his ambition there. DAMWON Kia are able to take themselves an advantage in the early round, 5v4. Can they make it pay this time?
Patience of a saint as well, because if Envy had got round that corner, he potentially kills 1 or 2 who were up on that jacuzzi wall. So smart patience being shown by Yas overall. Now looking to find their way in. It is this mainly jacuzzi focus push coming in. Do you want to clock that once again? DAMWON Kia used the Maverick to get the left side of the wall opened up in the top corner, and then open the right-hand side with the thermites. So the second round in a row, and they've done it. Once I think it's kind of a coincidence, but twice here it feels very deliberate, and it's a really smart little, very small, cute thing you can do, but it obviously is getting them results.
Shaiol still playing inside of CCTV would normally be a problem, but at the minute Rin is just up on the rooftop holding that window. Going to send in the drone, will likely spot out that Shaiol is still in there, and Shaiol is unaware. This should be a freebie for somebody. They've got to get this locked down. It's going to be Rin looking to just double checking exactly where is Shaiol, looking for that angle, checking as he moves past the window. It just took too long. Rin, he's got away into cash. Shaiol's back on his shield, and with 30 seconds left to go, that could be a real sticking point.
You'll be looking at that and maybe saying, well, why didn't Rin just swing? It's because they didn't have knowledge of what exactly was going on inside of construction. Someone could have popped up. One's inside bathroom, though. Static's holding the angle, and down goes Coated. He would have been in a great spot to plant, but Rin storms his way in through construction, manages to bring down 2 and he's on the march further through. But down below, there are no C4s in pocket, but I think they're looking potentially for some impacts. But Shyle comes out on the flank, supported then by Katsang to bring him down and neutralize things through. But can they get away with it? One impact comes out and they're going to nick it again in the dying seconds. DAMWON Kia punished by the clock, and it's not a C4, but an impact does just fine.
Beautiful play from SANDBOX there, just able to keep chipping away at that plant game of DAMWON Kia, just not letting them get the opportunity. Courted was found in no man's land, to be honest, inside a bathroom. He was trying to push through, but with diffuser in hand, they hadn't cleared out the site. You can't move through bathroom, and he finds out exactly why. And then it's all about scrambling for DAMWON Kia. It's trying to get back into position, trying to collect that diffuser, trying to get it down on the ground. But yet again, just a little bit short of time. And I don't think many people will have thought. There's a couple of us, not me. I predicted DAMWON Kia. There's a couple predicted SANDBOX today, but I wouldn't have thought anybody would have expected a 3-0 start.
Is it just one of us that have predicted them?
No, I think there's 2 or 3. There's a couple.
I know Jack did.
There's 2 or 3. I'll have a look.
Yeah, do find out. In fact, I'm going to up on here, actually. I can do it for us in a second. It's interesting how really DAMWON Kia are looking slow. We touched on it after round 1, a little bit after round 2 as well, but now it's become a thing now that we're 3 rounds in. For a team that were often, you know, praised for how decisive they were, how good they were with the clock, how decisive they were in their actions, we're not seeing it. We're seeing them kind of flip-flop about a little bit. Oh, we've got to go and deal with that Roma. Oh, God, we've only got 30 seconds left. Now we've got to storm the site. And we haven't dealt with the Roma, who then shoots us in the back while we're going for our first plant attempt. Shyle has been pivotal to 2 of these rounds because he has been uncaptured by the side of DAMWON Kia, who just leave him off to go and work his magic.
In fact, I believe you're right, Des. I think it's only Fresh who is on the SANDBOX train, and with Reject in the bag already, he could have an eye for an upset today.
You've got the Fav, I think, as the only person in the last game as well, right?
I've got Fav in the last game.
You're the only person to have it as well.
Who'd have thought?
The luck is going to run out after game 3.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I would agree with you. That's why I'm a caster and Fresh is an analyst.
Well, these analysts have got to be able to predict upsets again, Rice. Hey, we heard that earlier on. They've got to be able to get the upsets down, Tim. Got to be able to get them. Let's see how this round plays out, though. For DAMWON Kia, 45 seconds in. It's not at all a pressure point just yet, but what makes me nervous is, again, that timepiece we keep on talking about. They've got to be on their toes and get moving with pace. We are looking at the downstairs. Every member of SANDBOX is down in the basement. There are no roamers this time. No one is committed towards holding this top floor aggressively. So DAMWON Kia, the world is their oyster. This pace now comes entirely down to them. There is very little that SANDBOX can do to stop them pushing their way forwards. So Woogieman, you're looking at him getting on the hatches, for example, and opening those up. You're looking on the Flores to do the work. We saw Flores actually kind of punish Na'Vi when Na'Vi were playing the Flores because it slowed them down far too much when they were on Chalet against outsiders. I'm just nervous for DAMWON Kia. If they want to use all 4 of these Flores drones before they think about an execute, it's going to sting.
It certainly could. They've got the hatch open into Moto. That's going to give them a little bit of access. Remember last time they planted inside a church, even though they were posturing, they were shaping towards kitchen, towards dirt, they still managed to move in from that far side. Yas is going to send in a Rotero drone looking for utility, but no, shut down as soon as he tries to get through. It's going to be Static who takes that one out, and it's going to leave the Banshee in place. That could be an important piece of utility as this round ticks along. Anything that's going to waste what is left of this precious minute, Des, could be a big problem for DAMWON Kia.
We're going to try and take it down the long hallway instead, but Nova's just ready. They've got the answer to these drones, and guess what, Tim? It's quite as simple as just shoot them out. Forehead, just get rid of them. Just don't let them get into sight. Don't let them get the utility. And DAMWON Kia are no doubt panicking a little bit because, as you touched on, those Malusi Banshees are going to be an absolute terror. But again, we keep on speaking about this sort of thing. Magnets placed too close to other utility. Even with the Magnet catching the grenade, it still destroys the Banshee.
That's it. That's Blue Tunnel that they're going to have a little bit more access to. Managed to get themselves down into Moto now. But Nova, he manages to hit the reverse challenge onto Yas. Takes him down with a headshot. 20 seconds left to go, and DAMWON Kia are going to be left with little option other than to try and flood into sight here. Courted, he's peeking. He doesn't know Nova's on the close angle, but Nova gets shut down by Woogie. Maybe a little bit more patience would have paid dividends as the flood comes, and DAMWON Kia just run over SANDBOX. That's going to be their first round, and a nice last 15-second execute there. All started on that catalyst of Nova feeling he had to take the challenge on the breach, and that allows DAMWON Kia to get something going on Clubhouse.
Whew. The painful thing is, Tim, it's not convincing, right? Sure, the gunfights were fantastic when it came down to being a true FPS experience in the dying 10 seconds. Yes, DAMWON Kia came out on top. But everything leading up to those moments, a little bit less so. They did the basics. They got hatches open. They couldn't clear away Banshees, for example, except for the one inside of blue. So their end push through is kind of more of a brute force, right? We're going to charge in, we're going to shoot you in the face and win the round off the back of that. And fair play. They get 5 kills in a row, but nothing that you really see there makes you convinced that they can pull it off in rounds 5 and in round 6 to get themselves up to a 3-3 half.
Absolutely not. At this point, we need to see more. That's the point. We need to see DAMWON Kia now bring a bit of consistency. The thing is, can SANDBOX win rounds if things start going right for DAMWON Kia? So I picked up on it earlier, the example, they opened the Selma charge, they didn't get static, yada yada. But if they get that kill onto static, how will SANDBOX react to that? And that's going to be the big question. We need to see a round or two where DAMWON Kia, their plan works, where plan A does tick the boxes, and are they able to then win those rounds, SANDBOX, or will they start to fall by the wayside? Because you just feel like that last round's maybe put a little bit of wind in the sails of DAMWON Kia.
Just a little bit. I mean, it gets some confidence at least that they can win the rounds, they can get the gunfights, but it's about getting you set up for all 5 of those gunfights to go your way that feels like the main problem at the moment. Let's see how things progress, though, as we step into it and start moving our way forward. You did just hear the sound of a shield being set up. I don't believe that was going to be a Monty coming in. It would have been the one coming out from Harper. Straight away, Rin is in here, inside Jacuzzi Ball, and starting to sweep his way across pretty quickly, straight into construction, so lots of ground being taken quickly inside the round. Oh, Envy. Envy, does he know about the man already stepping inside? I don't think he does, and he gets downed as well. Just didn't respect that they might be in that quickly, and they get away with it. Surely there'd have been a cam at the top of main there to give the info away, but it's missing.
4v5 then, as we have DAMWON Kia at the advantage, and this is, as I said, potentially the problem for SANDBOX if they let DAMWON Kia get too active in this game. They're the sort of team where if you're on top, you got to stay on top. You got to keep them down. You can't let them get a toehold, as you say. In comes the nade. That's...
It's a flash, it's okay.
He was trying to burn a magnet. There we go. That's going to clear out the electric. I was worried. I was like, has he just absolutely launched that into the back of side? But no, it was just making sure that it was clear for the nade to come in, and that is exactly what happened. Nova is out on a roam again, Des. Yas was unable to deal with him last time. He got a bit over-ambitious and started chasing him when maybe if he'd have held his angle, he'd have probably picked him up. But see what Nova can do this time around.
It's making you a bit nervous that grenades can just fly straight through sight, though, knowing that there was no magnets or no ADSs around. The ADS is probably going to be on catwalk. The magnets obviously still charging up and being distributed around based on where the push is going to come in from. And with no one really playing inside of CC itself, it's not the end of the world. A lot of the focus is going to be in catwalk and inside of cache, because the reason why this site is becoming less popular is because of just how easy it is to get that east wall opened up. And you're then slicing the defense in half and making it quite difficult to be the catwalk player. You get garage, you get site control very quickly and easily, and then it's a case of trying to deny away utility like smokes and C4s and going in for a plant.
Time's going to become a problem again here. We're down to 45 seconds, still 4 left on the board, still garage control in place for SANDBOX, and DAMWON Kia, they're having to work around the backside now. Courted's going to go in. Oh, that was his chance. It was a split-second opportunity and a difficult shot to hit, and Courted just can't connect this time. But yes, he's going to take down Static. That gives them garage, but Nova fights back. Not before Courted and Woogieman managed to do the damage from the rear side into Cash, though. It's all going to be up to Nova. He tries to find the angle, and he does, but there's longer left on the clock this time, Des. He can't rely on that final second of the clock saving him. Gets shut down, 19 seconds on the board, and that is DAMWON Kia taking round 5 and their second overall. This could be a 3-all split, and if that's the case, you gotta say SANDBOX have let it slip a little bit.
It feels like DAMWON Kia have nicked it in that case, right?
Yep.
That round just there, really, to me, SANDBOX were far more passes than they've been previously. You know, they weren't expecting Rin to be inside of construction so fast for one. That's kind of whatever. That's to one side. But the player inside of Catwalk, the ones inside of Cash, they were just kind of sitting and waiting. They weren't looking to make life difficult, really, for the attackers. You saw a couple of smokes coming in onto the construction breach when it got opened up. But that was about it. There was no real attempt at trying to deny away exothermics. There was just nothing to slow DAMWON Kia down. And even though that clock did come down to the last 20 seconds, it gave them a little bit of breathing room. SANDBOX are basically just sat there waiting to die. So I'd like to see them get out in the map a little bit more here, give DAMWON Kia something to worry about, a way to burn the clock, because they have shown through every round so far, they're not looking so hot against the clock today.
No, that's the real key here for beating this DAMWON Kia side on the attack. But the problem is they've only got 1 round left, and then DAMWON Kia go onto the defence, and it's a completely different ball game for SANDBOX. And again, it's like you're stacking up against, it's that second boss. It's, have I got enough left in the tank to continue on and fight? And we will see as we get into that. But for the time being, round 6 will need to play out first. It's going to be Church and Arsenal downstairs, so we're going to see SANDBOX likely out in the map again. We might just get some of that aggression that you want. There's some of that unpredictability, wasting as much time as possible for DAMWON Kia. Looking at the lineup, we'll no doubt have Nova out on the roam, I would expect. Envy Taylor has played out there as well. Static on the mute, I would imagine, is involved. There we go. Ticking boxes. Shio on the Jaeger as well.
Pretty much everyone's out and about, and Nova the one being slightly more passive here, sat inside of storage, just waiting for someone to come in through the window.
Not good. Not
good to lose your mute so early on as well. That C4 being lost to the high winds, not going to be on side for use in that case, unfortunately, which could have been handy for denying Kitchen. It's always the risk when you're running these really valuable secondary utility-based operators out in the map, is if you lose them, it's going to sting a little bit, but at least the 4 jammers are still going to be in use on site itself. We know that SANDBOX love playing this roam game as well, by the way. They love mute-based roam games. You saw it a lot on Skyscraper. We saw it a lot last year. DAMWON Kia need to read into that and be able to deal with it, and they've already found one, but now it's in balance back out. Oh, a second from Charles as he sprays through the soft wall and finds Rin.
Beautiful. Shio just finding his man. Maybe a little bit of information, maybe a little bit of prediction there. Sees him out of the breach and just sprays him down, and that is a good turnaround here for SANDBOX. They've managed to take what was an opening death and could have been a little bit of a tough round for them. They've turned it on its head, got themselves an advantage. They do have the utility left here, DAMWON Kia. That's what I will say. They've got Courted, they've got Woogieman, they've got the utility that they need, they've got Yas on the Roteros, but with further reinforcements, this is a late prep phase, further reinforcements going on at the 145 mark, there is going to be some serious work for DAMWON Kia to do now.
Yeah, they've got the time. It's just about speeding things up and not leaving it until the last 10 seconds. I mean, last round they pulled the trigger on the execute at, 25 seconds? They still have time to course correct for mistakes, and it's always a concern I've got. If a team is pushing with less than about 25, 30 seconds left, there is not much room for error. Everything needs to go according to plan. One forgotten about angle can be what ends the round for you. Yas working his way forwards here. Might be able to get rid of a couple of gadgets. That'll be an ADS gone and a shield. And no doubt Harper now being forced to take a slightly more passive position.
Woogieman just going to be moving back into bar. We can see 30 seconds left to go. Angles of attack are being opened up, but it's going to be a lot to ask from DAMWON Kia here without them having found a kill. They've got a man inside a dirt tunnel that hasn't been shifted as of yet. Going to play his life in there. Envy Taylor finding Courted on the reverse angle as well. It's screaming a 4-2 half for SANDBOX as things start to fall apart for DAMWON Kia once again. It's all down to Yas. He's downstairs. Woogieman is getting the diffuser downstairs. I'm not sure if Yas has got sufficient cover because there's the man in dirt. He's going to try to hold on. He's got to get his kills. He gets one but not the other. SANDBOX close it down. That was always going to be a big ask. He does manage to succeed in the plant, but it's going to be for nothing as they're able to get in. Harper will disable the diffuser, and SANDBOX there go 4-2 at the half.
Yep, pretty cozy towards the end as well, but that was sort of really to be expected. What's going to matter massively to me now is this second half. I think DAMWON Kia, given how they've played that first half, are lucky to have 2 rounds on the board. This should be 5-1, if not 6-0, but they managed to blitz their way through a couple of rounds where it looked like they should have lost and at least get a couple on the board. I have some worries for SANDBOX coming into this half. Their attacking win rate over the last few months on this map is only 30%. Now you're looking at this and going, you know what, 30%, that's 1/3. There are 6 rounds to play. You'd assume they can get 2 rounds. Cool, so overtime's on the way. Yes, but at the same time, you're against one of the best teams in the competition. You are going to be hard-pressed here to win this in regulation. It might be an overtime game.
It could be. Like you say, there's going to be a bit of work.
Just selfie, by the way.
It's absolutely disgusting, isn't it? Like I say, there's a little bit of information. You see the yellow pin come out, so he knows that there's somebody in and around that area, and Shio just taking the
Surely
pot
not
shots.
a full cam left up.
Imagine taking the pot shots through the soft wall and getting his man. Round 7 then. SANDBOX now head on to the attack. Can they do the same thing? That's going to be the big question. And how will DAMWON Kia choose to play this out? Are they going to be up on the top floor? Are they going to be roam heavy like SANDBOX were? Are they going to be taking the fight to them? Or are we going to see a little bit more of a concise play from DAMWON Kia?
I hope a bit of a roam game, and that indeed appears to be what we are getting. Are they even going to electrify this? That's a bit of a different one if they have just gone for that. I think they have. They have, okay. So it's very rare that you see a full electrification on the top floor of one of these walls. They haven't reinforced up the jacuzzi walls, though, which is the one I'm looking at and thinking, okay, normally the 4 walls that you, even 5 up on the top floor, will be the 2 exterior-facing walls, plus the single one in construction facing outwards as well, because it just means the defenders have to, 1, burn utility up on the top floor, and 2, can't really blindside you. They're kind of forced through bottlenecks and end up droning through a mute, and it's just an absolute headache to try and deal with it. Nova going to start out here on the west side, though. Into Jimmy comes, and is now starting to work his way through this top floor, hoping to find 1 or 2 that just don't have the awareness or don't have their backs facing the right way.
Nova gets himself into logistics. Information going to be ahead of him. You can see the drones just racing through there, feeding back that they've got 2 players. There's the yellow ping. Spray comes through the window. Not going to catch anybody. Harper there, but always worth a try. 2 of DAMWON Kia left still alive. CCTV and Cash then. Rin's going to drop back to site from blue stairs, but Boogeyman and Katsang holding on for the time being. Yas in garage as well, and this could be dangerous for SANDBOX if they don't deal with these roamers and pin them down as to exactly where they are and make sure that they get the kills, because they're just not going to be able to go towards that bottom floor until they have done, because they're likely to continue getting hit on the flank.
See how things progress then. For now, at least, mainly undisturbed, but you can see that SANDBOX are slowly sweeping their way across the top floor. They've had the drones come through. They know that there's 1 or 2 sat inside of Cash. Now, at least, sorry, inside CC. Now it's definitely confirmed. There's a few shots fly over the top, but Nova, through the soft wall, is going to find Woogie, and I think he knows that one's at the top of red here. They don't move away. This could be a freebie coming in. Does take some damage away onto the 1 man down to about half HP. Charles and Nova, though, they bite back. 2 more kills coming through. Beautiful stuff, and SANDBOX are in full control.
Yas pushing his way back down blue, trying to get anything going here that he can. Rin sneaking up, but he's been found out. Envy is more than aware. Turns around, takes the fight, gets the win. Yas might be able to get a consolation kill, but it's likely only going to be that. 49 seconds. The diffuser is outside of the map. That's, I suppose, the one thing if I'm trying to find any positive for him. But as you say, they know exactly where Yas is playing. They're making his life difficult. No way he gets away with this. Yas is just absolutely wild at the minute as he goes out of the window. They just can't shut him down.
He can't go down blue. He can't go blue. He can't go blue. There's someone on blue watching. There's 2 of them lay down watching for him to come down blue. He literally can't push down there. Static, meanwhile, is slowly working his way through dirt onto the site. Yas is just really stuck in no man's land. It's like a stalemate. He can't get back to site, but they can't comfortably push him inside a lounge. Here he goes on the move. Harper looking to get a bit of a pinch in, and I think Yas is working his way towards main stairs.
He's going to head his way down. Can he find 4 kills? That's exactly the size of the task ahead of him. Won't even get one. Shio led down in Moto, finds his man on main, and that is going to be SANDBOX taking their first attacking.
So you're probably asking the question, okay, then, well, if Nova's a support and he's about to retire, why is he now on entry this stage? It's because when Good Boy, the player that's about to turn 18, when he turns 18, is coming straight into an entry role, pairing off with Shile. So Nova doesn't want to disrupt the team there and cause a massive change around when Good Boy starts. He wants to get in and have him hit the ground running in a structure that all the team is familiar with.
Going to be round number 8 then, and SANDBOX just looking to continue themselves careening towards victory at the minute. There's very little DAMWON Kia have been able to do to slow them down at this point. Shio's going to pepper the wall there. He's, I mean, not wrong. He's using the information from the last game. There was 2 players, Woogieman, one of them playing deep inside of CCTV and Cash, just trying to hold on to that area, and they stayed there for about a minute and a half. So pepper through the wall. Let's have a little look, see if they can catch anybody on the rotate.
You know, I also love thinking about it as well, is that we all looked at the start of the stage at the games that SANDBOX had before Good Boy steps into the roster, and we all looked and said, the game before he joins is DAMWON Kia. You'd really have loved to have him in the team for that game. And here's your air quote stand-in entry and Nova going 10-3. Like, dreamy. Absolutely 0 complaints coming in on a high. Can't wait to see how the boys play when they do have Good Boy on side next week. But for now, they have swept across that top floor. They have scoured out DAMWON Kia and forced them back down into the basement. Imagine most of them now playing on site. Yas looking to get a little bit cheeky here inside of Oil, just daring someone to push inside garage and think about a drop. Drones coming in. If they drone him out in Oil, he's basically screwed. They can hold the cross onto blue. He can't get back into site safely. Sees the man walk across the top, but they have yet to find him.
Yes, has an opportunity here. He's going to head up the ladders. As he left it too late, he's just going to skulk around in lower garage for the time being. Envy Taylor's moving quite quickly ahead of him, though, but unless they're aware of this could be a real punishment here. Woogieman's going to find Nova to open things up for us, and we cannot forget about Yas inside a garage, because he could have a massive impact on this round. He hasn't been able to make that impact yet, and as you say, might just be aware. He drops himself back through blue. He's going to get away with one there. Shiol takes a pot shot, but he manages to get back through that rotation and into church.
He does, yeah. Fortunate to get away there. I mean, it's hard to hit those shots because you only have, what, a fraction of a second as the aggressor in Shile to catch the man out as he goes for the cross. You are hoping for a headshot. A couple of body shots, not going to be able to bring anyone down at that range. Katsang now electrifying this wall up a little bit later on, expecting there might be a push coming in from that direction now that the hatch has been opened up. I guess you've got the Maverick sat on it at this point. And I think for SANDBOX, it's about trying to identify, okay, then where's this push going to come in? Are we dropping in through Moto? Are we pushing down Blue? Is it a kitchen push? Because they've got 3 options here. They've got Blue, they've got kitchen, they've got main stairs. Well, now 4, actually, because they've also got the bar hatch. There's lots to play with.
And that's good for SANDBOX. That's what tends to see success when attacking onto this site, is using those multiple angles and making it difficult for the defenders to hold any one single line of sight.
You
but
crawled
Wookie
into
Man
that.
manages to find the shots onto Static, just putting a few bullets up there, and prospectively manages to find his man as well. As you say, crawls on into it, and that's a big problem. Envy Taylor going to lose that first nade to a Wamai Magnet. Second
Beautiful
one will
nades.
go in and finds its target onto Woogie Man, but with 10 seconds left to go, this is not going to be easy. Envy Taylor pushing down but can't see the man behind the smoke. Rin manages to get Harper on the drop, and it's all up to Shio really to push in and make something happen here. Unlikely as time ticks down, and DAMWON Kia, they managed to take round number 8, and that's going to leave us now 5-3.
Yeah, leaving things a little bit late there. SANDBOX, both teams may be struggling with the clock at points throughout this game. Not one of those rounds that you'll look at and say, okay, why did things stall out that much? But they did, quite plain and simple. I think they were worried about Yas at first when he pops up through Garage. They were trying to get everything open up around the ground floor. They had the roamers to deal with in the first place. It again just leans into that idea of the defenders need to get out in the map and burn that clock down for the attackers. You know, waste as much time as you can, force them to panic, force them to, as you saw then, still have 2 left alive when the clock hits 0. Really well played by the defenders. Now into the upstairs site, this is where it really starts getting made, I think. Because back in round 7, a couple of rounds ago, that's when we saw SANDBOX with a pretty emphatic victory. Into the next round after timeout, DAMWON Kia get it right. But of course, I'll be discussing about that site and getting things right here. Will they have had time to discuss what needs to change for this kind of defense? We'll find out as the round comes towards a close.
As I said, no more mistakes really for DAMWON Kia, and now they got the first round. They've got 2 more to get. For me, they need to level this up at 5-5 if they want a realistic opportunity to get the 3 points on the board for this one, or even potentially scrape themselves through and see overtime. You just feel like if SANDBOX smell the blood in the water, if they know that it's close within touching distance, this side today will be able to get it done. So DAMWON, can you hold on to CCTV and Cash? They're going to hold a little bit of a downstairs roam. Yas is just barricading off between bar and strip, so that's just going to prevent any movement coming in from that side without him being aware of it, and also allows him to potentially push up those main stairs and aggress into bedroom.
Absolutely. Static just holding in towards that site west window, hoping someone runs through site or rotates their way back. You know, Envy Taylor got caught out a couple of times on late rotates trying to get his way into construction, for example, and Rim was there ready to greet him at the 2-minute 20 mark or so. Katsang's going to be the defender of Catwalk in this case. Quite appropriate when it comes to his name, don't you think, Tim? Got lots of ADSs scattered around as well and a couple of magnets in there with him just to make sure he can hold this one down by himself.
Static headed quite quickly towards the jacuzzi to open it up, the jacuzzi wall, but then just dipped away, decided to get some drones in. Yas is going to get spotted out immediately, so he's going to have to drop a little bit deeper. The wall will indeed be opened up just to improve the speed at which Yas moves away. They're going to want to make sure that he is headed back towards site, although Yas may try to just hold construction for a little bit longer. He's right up inside of Jim. He's actually playing really aggressively onto the breach. I think having the hatch open and the rotation there to give him options is just keeping him sort of motivated to hold on to it. Woogie Man finds Nova on the drop, and DAMWON Kia looking good so far.
Good catch onto that one. Also only noticed, by the way, they left the left-hand panel inside of CC soft and opened it up on the side of DAMWON Kia. So making it a bit easier for SANDBOX. I might need to borrow your glasses again, Tim, because I missed that one earlier on. But they're in a spot there where, okay, the hard work is done for the hatch. You've got to stall it out for sure. And that's why I think much of SANDBOX have now rotated over towards pushing in from the west side, because the hard work's been done. Envy finding a massive 2K from the stock door and now looking to play with these nades from below. I think expected there to be a big push in towards him once they realised there was a player or two on the downstairs. But a wonderful task being done. Just Rin left to challenge here on the ground floor.
He's going to have to hold on, because if Rin loses his life, it's going to become a little bit of a problem for DAMWON Kia, because the pressure's seriously going to mount inside of sight. Katsang still alive on the catwalk is a point to the credit at least. He can aggress onto the 2 construction-sided plant spots, so that is something that they can certainly use, but it does also lock him in place because he can't really give up that position. 30 seconds left to go, and we've got Shio and Envy Taylor looking to come to blows with Rin potentially at the bottom of red stairs, but he's not going to get too engaged in that at the minute because he wants to hold on and keep that numbers advantage, be able to try and help Katsang keep hold of Garage because they're having a look towards it at this point.
Katsang tried to C4 there onto the west window, but couldn't find the man, and then Harper finds 2 as well from that spot. Oh, that C4 had gone off. That wouldn't have happened. It would have been a big 2K from the west window, and then maybe, just maybe, they could have held on. Rin's on the downstairs, no idea where they're planting, but they're up, I think, on the counter at this point. It cannot be stopped. SANDBOX might just be able to get themselves up to match point here, and it's going to have to be 3 rounds in a row for DAMWON Kia to swing it back.
Fantastically played from SANDBOX at the end there, just taking their opportunity. I think they recognised that they had 1 and 2, stacked up inside a Garage, so that was the opportunity to rush site and get control of things with only 1 defender left in there, and they did so with ferocity. SANDBOX taking themselves on to 6 there. It will be match point now against DAMWON Kia, and could be a bit of a struggle for the Korean side to come back from this.
Yeah, a real war. And that last round really came down to 2 players. It came down to Envy and it came down to Harper. You know, Harper shooting out the C4 and then hopping in the window, killing Coated and getting Katsang. That was huge because Harper really was the one that was tasked with watching. Sorry, Katsang was tasked with watching onto that west window to stop him getting into the window. But Harper, finds a player first, then bolts in and gets Katsang on the catwalk. That's a really big power position to clear away and did it really well. Envy on the downstairs, they just read them like a book. They knew that 2 were going to come charging downstairs, trying to rotate through Lounge, and Envy gets 2 kills. That's 4 or 5 members gone. Shiles left all by himself at the very end. Not Shiles, sorry, I keep getting names confused here today, sorry. The Rin on the Jaeger was the only one left alive, and from that point forwards, it's all too easy for SANDBOX. 2 really big plays there by Envy and by Harper, showing a really good understanding of the game.
We can get you some glasses of your own if you like.
It would be, well, the thing is that doesn't really help with names is the problem.
Well, I mean, it might help you with reading them.
It might, but not saying them or remembering them.
Milosh has been itching to take somebody to an optometrist in Paris.
I'm sure he would love to, mate. The thing is, I can't speak French to the level that I'd understand what they're saying in a French optometrist.
Well, no, that's why Milosh takes you and he helps you.
Yeah, but he'd be saying, well, we want to extract his eyeballs because he clearly can't see. And I'd be like, yeah, oui. And they're like, you consent? Yes. I'd be like, oui. And they'd be like, okay. And then I'd be like, what's going on now?
I'm not sure eyeball removal is a common surgery in Paris, but
that depends who you ask.
I don't think it'd be top of my list of worries, but top of the list of worries right now for DAMWON Kia is SANDBOX taking this one here, and now they've gone to gym and bedroom. They're trying to mix it up, feeling that they didn't have near success in CCTV and Cash, and already there's quick progress being made by SANDBOX. They're going to get that wall open from Jacuzzi. That gives pressure in towards the top of main stairs, forces the defenders to rotate away, which we see. We've got Harper on the rooftop just working the windows a little bit, going to try and get themselves into CCTV and Cash, I think, here as well. Mover in from the top of red, and at that point, this is going to become very, very sweaty inside a site.
It will. I think Woogie there was going for a really cheeky kind of step up, by the way, when the hatch got opened up inside of Logistics. Was just there on the ready to kind of pop up with the pistol. I hope he got the sledge, who was standing a little bit too close, but no, he'd already backed away, or was at a different angle, so then is forced to move away. Rin, a nade coming railing in there from the floor by the looks of it, I think, potentially. In fact, no, alive through the drone hole, but couldn't quite find him. Up on the table, now backing himself away as this extended hold is going to get broken and gets cut by Envy Taylor. This is the problem. You overhang on these roams, you will get punished.
I love that teamwork there from SANDBOX, and what a beautiful view we had of it. We have the exothermic charge opens up, forces Rin away, and Envy just sprays through the soft wall as he knows the movement's going to come. He knows exactly where that door is, and he just sprays towards it, knowing that Rin is going to be heading there, takes him down, gets the kill, and that is a great opener. 5v4 now as SANDBOX. They start to head in. You can feel they've got the bit between the teeth now. They know that this victory is close at hand, and it may well have been an unexpected one against DAMWON Kia. To pick up 3 points is going to be big for the SANDBOX season, and they're just trying to push and prod their way in. But Woogieman and Katsang in the heart of sight are just holding them off for the time being.
It's the madness of what this is going to end up doing to the standings as well that's going to make this really spicy. DAMWON Kia haven't got to worry. They've already made it into playoffs at this point. But SANDBOX, this is a massive win to get that will propel them into joint 4th place with T1. And then suddenly a lot of pressure starts coming on Cyclops and Talon, who sit just above. But let's see if they can get through the final 30 seconds first and foremost, Tim. Here they go to start looking towards this push. The laser gate being shot out as well as Coated finds Envy elsewhere. So a little bit of balance in the butts coming in for DAMWON Kia as that ADS catches a nade.
It's going to be a big last 15 seconds for them here. DAMWON Kia, they just need to hold on now effectively in a 4v4, just take the trades. But Nova, he finds Katsang. 2 kills for DAMWON Kia, though. A big play there. Coated and Yas able to maybe drag them over the line. Harper, he's starting to get the diffuser down. Yas is down, as you say. Coated finds the kill. He just needs to find the man. It will be successful, but he'll get the kill. Quad on the round for the Woogie Man, and he's going to get the disable on the diffuse as well. And DAMWON Kia, they keep themselves fighting. They keep clinging on to the rock face that is Clubhouse right now, and they fight for another round. 6-4.
2 more to get over the finish line, Tim, and the scary thing is it's going to be a full rotation. They didn't win Cash CC the first time around they defended it. I don't think they go back there. They did win Church and Arsenal the second time around, so I think they'll go back there first and try and make that work, given that was when they used the timeout after their first loss there to try and get things corrected. So they are 1 for 1, 1 win, 1 loss on this site. Which way does the pendulum swing here in round 11?
I tell you what, there's a world where this goes to overtime, and it's going to be absolutely crazy because SANDBOX are going to be kicking themselves if it does, because you just feel like they've been on top for so much of this matchup, but just not able to get it over the line. But I suppose that's what happens when you come up against top-tier teams like DAMWON Kia. They are able to dig these games out, and they are never done. As much as they are still alive in the server, they're still going to have an opportunity to get rounds. They're going to be down in Church and Arsenal. Last time we saw this was round 8. We saw it in round 7 as well. SANDBOX 1-1, DAMWON Kia 1-1, 50-50 so far. Can DAMWON Kia hold on again? It felt like the round that they won, they applied a little bit less to the roam. They didn't try to hold on to CCTV cash quite as hard, and they played it a little bit more sort of site-based.
Based on how Fav and Talon goes in the next game, we could have like 4 teams all fighting for 3rd and 4th place next week on the final Playday. That's just...
I love it.
Insane. Genuinely insane. I'm pretty sure if SANDBOX lose this game, they're still in with a chance, but they'd have to get a brilliant result next week, and T1 have to lose their game. So it's one of those that you look at and just think, oh, you're leaving it down to fate there. But if you win this game, you are in with as good a chance as anyone to make it into the playoffs.
Yas going to head back down the main stairs, not going to overstay his welcome on the roam. Nova is established in the top floor. MB looking to move towards kitchen more than likely when the time presents itself. Woogie Man just opening up an angle in the floor there. I think he's just waiting for an opportunity all the way through to logistics here. And it's a hell of an angle up to the top floor.
I don't think quite see it to the top floor, but I know that you can definitely see into the kitchen door, which is waiting to see if someone does want to come running through, because if so, that is the biggest freebie of your life. Envy cracking this door open at the far west side of the kitchen hall, and Nova also working in from the other. So no one yet stepping across his path, but if they do, there's be a right blasting coming in from below. Got
a feeling he's going to get one here, Des. As they start to move through, we're just going to have the vertical angles being opened up by the sledge, and it's surely a matter of time until they head into kitchen. I'm not sure if Woogie Man is still in position. He's holding it, and it's a cheeky one, but just bide your time. Keep your patience, Woogie Man. And there could be an opportunity as the sledge starts to come in. Harper's well aware. He doesn't see him, though. He has a little look, and we get the battle that we wanted back and forth, but nobody's going to take any damage. Woogie Man, maybe a tickle there, but nothing more. They're going to start with the vertical angles. They're going to use the Rotero drone to force Woogie Man away, and he needs to be careful exactly where he's going, as those vertical angles are getting very exposed now.
Really good diligence being shown by Harper as well to spot holes in the ground and not just run over them, but instead look for the challenge, and rightly so. Otherwise his life would have been over. He'd have been out of the round, and the sledge being gone with 2 nades in back pocket would have been a real stinger. Down goes one of those evil eyes here to the Flores drones coming in. We spoke about, again, how those can really slow the round down, but the rest of SANDBOX are keeping busy here, opening up more holes through the floor, getting hatches done as well, so they're making good progress.
Woogie Man manages to take down the Rotero drone. He did lose his evil eye camera that was just watching over the kitchen drop to keep the information raining from that position, but he will have to keep his eyes on it instead now. Yes, I thought he was going to take a little peek towards main stairs there. Nova could have been in trouble, but no, he manages to creep his way in towards Moto. 30 seconds and Envy Taylor finds our first kill. It's going to be on to Coated. 5v4 now. SANDBOX have got the opportunity. Des Nova finds one, and it's going to be dangerous, but Rin manages to fight back alongside Yas. 3v3, 3v2, Rin! Rin knows he's gone prone and finds the kill. Woogie Man hits his shot, and it's all of a sudden 1v3 static. Able to fight it back to a 1v2. Diffuser in hand drops, but no! Shut down by Yas and DAMWON Kia. They keep fighting. We're going all the way to 12, Des.
Ooh, the Warrior of Blue there as well.
Prowess that we would normally expect out of them on Clubhouse, but they continue to fight here, keep themselves going and trying to get themselves into overtime. It's going to be CCTV Cash is their last opportunity to do so, and this time they have to shut down, if it comes, that west-sided push from SANDBOX.
And look at what they brought to the party, Tim. Just when you need him most.
The Monty!
The Monty coming in for Nova. So taking him off the Iana, the normal go-to entry for this player, for this team. As I mentioned throughout the game, he's been sat at, what, 10+ kills? We saw him at 10-3 last to properly check the scoreboard and saw where everyone was sat at. So putting him into more of a non-fragging role could come back to bite SANDBOX a little bit here and force us through to overtime. But that Monty, if teams aren't expecting it, can really rock your world.
Very quick opening, 30 seconds, and we have the East Breach done. Katsang is going to have a job on his hands to try and stay alive on that catwalk, especially with Nova heading in that direction on the Monty, being brought along very possibly to specifically push that player out of position. Once you've got the East Breach and you've got the catwalk, you really should be able to get a diffuser down as an attack inside. So what looks like a potential Hail Mary for SANDBOX to try and get this over the line could be one of the most effective players that we see of the game.
Where Katsang's just like, oh, god damn. I had to deal with Harper coming in through West Window last time, and now I've got a Monty pushing me. This is a really thankless position to have to play for a team as well, because you are probably going to die at some point. Your job is to waste as much time as you can, but you accept you're going to go down. Just sat there threatening him here like, oi, mate. Got a C4. Stay away. Pulls out the pistol. How does he get away with that one? This is the problem. You sit there with a C4 in your hand just trying to threaten him with it. He's like, okay, well, I've got a gun and you've got a C4. Who wins here, huh? Probably going to be me. Clears out the catwalk player entirely by himself and takes such a large portion of land here for SANDBOX. Shyle into a second as well as Yas was moving his way in through the bar of 5 versus 3. And surely, with 2 entries, you can walk away the victor.
Katsang is going to be ruined the day that he brought a C4 to a gunfight, Des, because it's just opened the way for SANDBOX to just push through now. They've got the catwalk, they've got the breach, they are in position to start thinking about getting the diffuser down. Nova's going to go in and bully red stairs, I would imagine, possibly push into Cash and just hold them at bay.
Hold the door.
He just needs to hold one of those lanes. Shyle is on the other, and the opportunity is there now. They're baiting out the smoke canisters. Woogieman is on a long flank here to try and get himself back to sight. Shyle able to pop up, take down Coated. Woogieman, he could have an impact if they don't know about him, but it's not going to be easy. That is now his opportunity gone. He gets the 1 kill. Can he open up? Static, he's just going to relocate. He's got all the time in the world here, Des.
Oh, Rin as well goes to the swing. No way the DAMWON Kia bring this back. They've found 2, but they've got to find more. Harper getting 1 back. Rin is left alone here trying to pull off magic. Has to flee from the scene, but being pursued by the Monty and swung out from top red. SANDBOX will take that win. 7-5 in what looked like a pretty dicey last round, but an upset, absolutely.
Poor Rin at the end there, just trying to do anything, having to dance around and avoid the hatch that was open, nearly dropped down it, but a great round from SANDBOX there. Just used the Montagna really well to get in.